AI valuations are rising in both the public and private market, and OpenAI is leading that charge. Dealbook reporting recently that it raised $8.3 billion at a $300 billion valuation. Meantime, French AI startup Mistral reportedly seeking a $10 billion valuation in its latest round of fundraising. Joining us right now to discuss all of this is Kelly Rodriguez. He's the Forge CEO. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Do these numbers make sense to you?
They don't unless you look at the revenue progression of these businesses.
So then they do make sense to you? What are you saying?
There's 19 companies in the private market AI basket. These companies have grown on average 300% over the last 2 or 3 years on the larger side with revenue bases of $1 billion. I don't think we've ever seen historic progression of revenue like that in any sector.
So when you see an OpenAI not just capture this kind of valuation, but capturing something like 700 million people who are touching OpenAI every week. That's up from 500 just a couple months ago. I mean, that's sort of where, to the extent you get to a $300 billion valuation, that's how you get there.
Yes, and it's not just that company. That is the largest player in the space, but there are dozens of these companies emerging now. 19 of them have grown at that rate for the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh, so you think everybody's going at the OpenAI rate? Because I think they are.
Yes,
across the board.
In the 19 largest that we track, they're averaging 300%.
So then which is the most undervalued of those?
Well, I think the largest ones are where they're drawing all the attention. Anthropic and OpenAI have essentially an insatiable amount of capital trying to come into those companies.
And just one other thing that's related to this. Do you think in the end that all of this gets commoditized, or there is a winner-take-all piece to this? Because the one thing that I think when you talk to investors who are now thinking even in that latest OpenAI round, they will say, we talked about the memory function last week, that the sort of idea of persistent memory actually is one of the most unbelievable lock-in effects that you could actually create, which is to say, we used to talk about social media and their lock-in effect. This is almost different. If they know everything about you and it gets better as you use it, your decision to use OpenAI right today and then switch to something else, you might not.
So I think in the generative AI space, there's probably only going to be a couple of winners. When you look at what's going on in agentic and some of the other areas of infrastructure, you're going to have several of these companies significantly larger than what we've seen in other sectors.